Believers IAS Academy's editorial analysis. Today we have taken up this article from the Hindu editorial page. It says refocused vaccination campaigns are possible. And this is an article by two healthcare researchers, and they says that we should be prioritizing people like the octogenarians in Mumbai. The word octogenarians means people who are in the age group of 80 to 89. So what they say is we should have vaccinated older adults first. Why? Because they will be having health complications, right? And COVID is going to take a serious toll on these people. So we should be prioritizing older age group first. Apart from that, we should be prioritizing marginalized people by focusing through the lens of equity and justice. We know that in our country, we have gender gap, we have social gap, we have huge economic gap. So we have poor people, religious minorities, socially disadvantaged caste. We have tribal people, Adivasi communities, those who are living in remote areas, and we also have a patriarchal society where gender gap is too big. So we need to prioritize them. We need to prioritize the marginalized community because they do not have proper healthcare access. They do not have access to proper healthcare facilities. So that is another thing. And vaccines should be provided in camps or door to door in areas like urban slums and neighborhoods. Why is this? Because as they might not be trusting the healthcare facility very much, the marginalized communities, and they might not be having proper access, we should make this possible so that everyone gets vaccinated. Also, Adivasi communities also reside in remote and forested areas, so we should also prioritize these areas, those districts, those states where these communities are residing, the marginalized communities are residing more. Those should be also prioritized. And vaccine distribution should also be prioritized to Muslim-dominated Tier 3 towns across the country. So as this is also a minority, this Muslim group is also a minority in the country, those areas should also be prioritized. This is what they say. And actually, the government of Chhattisgarh has actually prioritized ration card holders. So what happens when ration card holders are prioritized? So ration card holders, there will be poor people who are residing in big houses with, by big houses I don't mean the size, but more members in a family, okay? More members in a family, multi-generation families. And also there will be, other households where there are less number of family members. So in such households, there will be the risk of infection is very high. And also since there are multi-generation people, like old people are going to be there, mid-age group people are going to be there. So the risk is more high. If any of the member gets infected with the virus, the chances of it spreading throughout the family is very high, and all people will have health complications, and it will be more fatal to them. But it is less when it compared to other households. So this is a good idea in getting prioritizing vaccination to the marginalized communities. And also another thing that you need to know is that they might not be having access to mobile phones and internet. So right now what we have is a setup where we have to register ourselves in an online portal and then get vaccinated. When the slots are assigned, then we can get vaccinated. But these people, without having proper access to internet, and we know that in our country the digital gap is too big, so that is going to be a problem. So this will be solved when ration card holders are prioritized. So this is one idea they have pointed out in the article. Now, women-only vaccine days should be there, so that the women know that they are also being prioritized, so that they are also taken care of. Because mortality rate was higher in women than in men. Even in the past, like in 1918, during the influenza period, the reports said that mortality rate was higher in women. So the recent reports, when it related to COVID, also says that more number of men are being vaccinated than women. So gender gap is very much visible even in the case of vaccination, and this should be closed. And for that, we need to have proper women-only vaccine days, so that more women are vaccinated. Alright. Now, when it comes to vaccination, the kind of vaccine, India depends on the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, AstraZeneca is a conventional vaccine. It's an adenovirus vaccine where in conventional vaccine what happens is that a weakened virus is developed, and it is used in order to create a reaction in the body. But mRNA virus, it is different. mRNA virus actually requires genetic code to be made, and when they are like, they create a protein or part of a part of virus, and they like, it's called messenger RNA virus. So they tell the body to create a response when the virus is met after that. So we do not have to put a weakened virus in the body. Instead, by using genetic code, this mRNA vaccines, like a reaction can be created in the body. So what happens is, mRNA virus can be made much easier at a faster rate, but the problem is that it requires good storage capacity. That is, it requires to be stored in very less temperature, less than -70 degrees Celsius temperature. So, but AstraZeneca, like conventional vaccines, does not require that much. So in India's case, we do not have proper storage capacity. Our logistics is not that good. So that's why we are dependent on AstraZeneca's Covishield virus, and as freezers do not exist in our country much. And another thing that they suggest is we should all make use of accredited social health activists and auxiliary nurse midwives. So accredited social health activists are actually health workers who are appointed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So they were appointed as part of the Rural National Health Mission. And auxiliary nurse midwives also health workers. These are both female health workers, and they operate in a village level. Okay, so what they do is they motivate people to make use of healthcare facilities, primary healthcare facilities, and also like for example, to use hospital facilities during pregnancy and all these things. So they can be also used back in to make vaccination policy, like vaccination, a better success in the country. So what we can do other than that, what's the way forward? So we should, as I said, marginalized community, we should be focusing more on priority should be given to marginalized community too. But as marginalized community do not trust the healthcare system very much, they do not have proper access, and they might be not having trust. We should build trust in the vaccine. Vaccine hesitancy is also another problem that we are facing. So for that, engagement of trusted spokespeople is required. So people who like those people, spokespeople who these marginalized could trust, those should be brought in order to have better communication with these people, and then get them to vaccinate. And also the government has taken a decision to provide a vaccine free to everyone. The central government is going to procure that, so that is a good decision. And another issue that we face is that the third world countries, in the article it's pointed out that wealthy countries take more vaccines. So more vaccines are more than what they need is bought in by wealthy countries, and as a result, the third world countries, other countries might not be having vaccines according to their need. So WHO is actually calling for urgent need for vaccine equity. Alright, and what can be done in order to, what's the way forward in this case? There should be more donation to the COVAX facility. So COVAX facility is an international initiative by WHO. It has the objective to make vaccination more equitable, more available to people who need it the most, like third world countries and all. So that is what COVAX is, and what this article suggests is that more doses needs to be donated to COVAX so that they can distribute into countries according to their need. So that's it all about that article. The second article that we have chosen here is from Indian Express Explained, and it is important for GS3 Science and Technology, and it says European Space Agency's ambition mission to Venus. So European Space Agency, ESA, is a space agency. It's an international organization by different European countries. There are 22 European countries, which includes UK, Germany, France, Spain, Norway, a lot of countries, 22 countries are there, Austria, and much more. And they following NASA's footsteps. So NASA has recently released their plan for 2 missions to Venus. So after that, ESA has also come up with an mission. So this mission is going to be realized around 2030. Alright, and It is an orbiter that's planned around Venus. Now, let's have a small background about Venus. So Venus is considered to be the hottest planet in the solar system. You need to remember that next to the Sun we have Mercury, and Venus is the second planet. And still it is the hottest. It is hotter than Mercury. And the reason is its thick cloud cover. Since Venus has a thick cloud cover, the heat is actually trapped inside the planet. Alright. So as a result, it is more hot, and also it appears very bright. So Venus is more bright when compared to other planets. From Earth, when we are looking, Venus is more bright. This is because because of its thick cloud cover. So when sunlight hits it, it gets dispersed, and as a result, it appears more bright. Alright. So in the past also we had multiple missions, space missions by different countries to Venus. Some of them are Soviet Union's Venera series, then Magellan mission by NASA, and Japan's Akatsuki. It's good if you remember some of the space agencies named by different countries. In Japan, the space agency is called JAXA. It's called Japan Space Exploration Agency. And then you have NASA. NASA is by US, obvious. Well, Soviet Union does not exist anymore, so Soviet Union Space Mission, something it was called. But now in Russia we have Roscosmos. Okay. So let's look into the NASA's new missions to Venus. So one is Da Vinci Plus, and the other one is Veritas. Da Vinci Plus is actually going to measure the composition of Venus' atmosphere to understand how it formed and evolved, as well as determine whether the planet ever had an ocean. And Veritas is going to map Venus' surface to determine the planet's geological history, whether to understand there is still geological activity going on, tectonic plates movement going on, all these things, and to understand why it developed differently than Earth, because Earth and Venus actually have similar size and actually have similar conditions too, but still these planets have developed differently, so we need to know what happened. Now, Envision is going to have on board different instruments, which is also going to include NASA's radar, which is going to help it with imaging and mapping the surface. And also it's going to study the planet's atmosphere and surface, monitor trace gases in the atmosphere. So why Venus? Why are we studying Venus? Now, one thing is, we need to know that Venus atmosphere is very hot. It's not it's not possible for life to exist there. So as we said, Earth and Venus are of similar size and similar situation they had, and it developed differently. We need to know whether a situation like in Earth might have happened there, like for example climate change, greenhouse effect, and then maybe the Earth might meet such kind of a fate later in the future. So in order to assess that, we need to study Venus. That is one concern. What history did Venus experience to arrive at this state, and does this foretell Earth's fate should it too undergo a catastrophic greenhouse effect? Now, how Earth and Venus evolve so differently, that I have also already told. And is Venus still geologically active, to know whether tectonic plate activities are going there, and could it have once fostered an ocean and even sustained life? So this is another curiosity that we have, because recently it was said that phosphine, a material called phosphine, was observed. Now this data is not 100% sure, but certain observations suggest the presence of phosphine in the atmosphere of Venus. Alright. Now phosphine is a material that can be found only when life exists, as per our knowledge. And where life exists, there will be phosphine. It's made by humans, microbes, and we can make it, industrially we can produce it, but usually in a planet, if it's occurring, it's a result of an anaerobic process, and it's it suggests the existence of life. So we are curious whether life, now it does not say that life really exists there. It might be also because of the existence of life in the past. All right, and also there has been suggestions that the area above the clouds are the temperature is less, so there might be life in that part of Venus. So in order to find out the answers of all these questions, all these doubts, this mission by NASA and ESA is happening, and ESA is going to happen around 2030. So that's all about it. So for more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can join our Telegram channel where we post a lot of updates, and you can also follow us on our Instagram and Facebook page. You can also visit our website, and you can get to know the kind of course structure that we are providing, and the academy and everything related to it. So thank you very much for watching.